up, guys? Dave Van Auken here. Quick little UFC 280 reaction. Monday, October 24th. We're a week away from Halloween, flying by. It's going to be Thanksgiving. It's going to be Christmas before you know it. It's going to be the year 2023 before you know it. But real quick, UFC 280 was just this past weekend. Let's talk about it a little bit. There's the three main topics: main event, co-main, of course, that feature fight, the controversial Peter Yan and Sugar Sean O'Malley fight. Let's start at the top. Let's stick with the main event. Congratulations, first and foremost, to Islam Makhachev, right? He got the job done. Talked to a couple people now. I've listened to a couple things. Guys, he looked as good as you're hearing. I thought Islam looked amazing. Got the job done. He did something with Charles Oliveira that I've been preaching for 2 years now, and I'm a huge Oliveira guy. I picked Oliveira to win. I thought he was going to win. I didn't get when Poirier and Gaethje, and I know Chandler did this too a little bit, and I get that Charles is so good on the ground and the black belt and the submissions, the most ever in UFC history. So I get all that, right? But to defeat him and to capture the championship, I thought that Poirier and Justin Gaethje did themselves a disservice when they got that major takedown. When they hurt Charles Oliveira, they were like, hey, we'll wait. Well, we don't want to go down there to you. You recover, you get back, you get in this zombie flow state, and then we'll see what happens. When Islam Makhachev did it, and I know he's great on the ground, I know the wrestler, and I know that's where he wanted to be, and he wanted to finish that fight exactly how he finished it. When he landed his overhand left, when he hurt Charles Oliveira, when he hurt Charlie Olives to the ground, he got the job done, and it was quick. It was a perfect landing. Makhachev got him into the perfect spot. He probably has done that hold over 1,000 times, daily, weekly, monthly. The training, they said, Habib said they spent over $1 million for this training camp, whatever. But it was just, I felt vindicated because I've been on this, and people, fighters, UFC fighters and coaches were told me I was wrong, and maybe I am. I just think that when you get Charles Oliveira in a bad spot, when you hurt him and get him to the ground, put him away. Like Gaethje should have threw bombs raining down on him. It's not like Poirier's a kid on the mat. Dustin Poirier can do some things on the ground as well. I'm not saying you get reckless, but try to end the fight. Try to win, like you capture that championship, like Islam Makhachev did. What Islam does next? It's definitely Alexander Volkanovski. I have never seen something so clean and so easy. Dana White's on the board. The champion's on board. The challenger's on board. Volkanovski was there. He said he didn't know that he was going to get challenged in the octagon. Yeah, I don't know, guys. He's there. He's drinking. He's the backup fighter. Dana made it pretty clear during the week. He thought Volkanovski should be the next challenger. Clean, easy. The thing that I'm excited about, let's just throw this out there. We're in October, November in 3 weeks. We got UFC 281 in New York City, UFC 282 in Vegas. Looks like there will be Yuri and Glover in the main event. A lot of really cool key fights underneath. January, they're going to Brazil, and then boom, right away February they're in Perth. They're UFC 284. That's Perth. That looks like it's going to be Makhachev versus Volkanovski. That's exciting. Like we get this ball rolling. We will see one of the biggest fights in UFC history. Pound for pound, top 2, top 5 guys. The featherweight moving up to lightweight to see Makhachev defend the championship. Volkanovski, he thinks he can't take him down, and he thinks like he can grapple and wrestle with Makhachev. This is fun. Like, this is a really cool, intriguing matchup. This is not a matchup we thought about 6, 8, 10 months ago. So I like it. Volkanovski, Makhachev, UFC 284. Let's go on the other side. What happens to Charlie Olives? Does how quickly everyone's talking about Brazil? To be really honest, I think that's fast, right? Like the man, the weight cuts are hard. The body, the run, we saw social media was on fire all week for UFC 280. We've done some incredible numbers on Facebook on Fight Finesse. We did over 1 million people each day. One of the days we did over 3 million on our reach. So the numbers were insane. And I saw so many posts saying in 2 years, Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, and now Islam Makhachev. Give this man 6 months. Like, give him 8 months. Like, why push him to UFC 283 against Benny DeRouche? Like, that's cool. I get it. It's a number one contendership. Yeah, I get it. Me personally, Oliveira has gave us so much in this 2-year run. One of the greatest runs in UFC lightweight history. I would not mind. I would not be upset at all if we put him on the ice for a little bit. Just let him rest his body, his mind, his soul, his spirit. He's made a ton of money. We're good to April. Like we got the card. Looks like it'll be March. UFC 285 will be Edwards and Usman overseas as well. Let's see him April and May. And then that gives us, maybe we'll see the winner of Dustin and Chandler. Maybe we'll see where Gaethje's at. We'll see if Conor McGregor's back in town. I just think it gives us a couple different directions. Maybe it could be even Benny and Charles. But I would really think and appreciate if we see Charles Oliveira April, May, June of 2023. All right, so that's the UFC 280 main event. Co-main event. Okay, Aljamain Sterling gets the job done, defeats TJ Dillashaw. Great victory by Aljamain. Absolutely dominant, brutal, exactly what he said. He thought he was going to get a second-round stoppage, and he did. He looked phenomenal. Yeah, I know the shoulder popped out. I know he said it happened a lot. It is what it is. It's a fight game. Injuries happen inside that octagon a lot. I don't think we discounted what Poirier did and what Weidman did and all of that nature. The injuries happened. Aljamain looked amazing before the injury, during the injury, and after. And just going into it, I thought it was actually one of the nice key spots of the whole card. I thought Aljamain was going to get the job done. I thought it was a horrible matchup for TJ Dillashaw. I was saying that on all the Bet and Banana shows, on any podcast I was on. I loved Aljo in that spot in the co-main event. But, of course, the big one is what's next. You think it's going to be Sugar Sean O'Malley. We'll talk about that in a second. But Dana just wasn't really into it. He kind of said it before the fight and before on fight week. But after the fight, you didn't hear. He could have just put a stamp on it. He could have just locked that up. Yeah, Sugar Sean versus Aljo. That's all he had to say. And boom, they're ready to go. That probably might be a pay-per-view main event. Get Sugar Sean O'Malley on that fight poster and see if he can capture that championship and make him one of the biggest superstars on this planet in mixed martial arts. But he didn't say it. He mentioned Cejudo, and then Aljamain Sterling mentioned Cheeto Vera. So a lot there, a lot of moving parts in the bantamweight division. I like it. It's cool. It's intriguing. And I think that's good because to us, right, like we have the next 5 months pretty plotted out. We have, sometimes it's a lot of open stuff and a lot of questions. We don't. Like we know we're going to Perth. We're going with Islam and Alexander. We know we're going with, Usman and Edwards and March. So other than Jay, it looks like they said they're even going to add Covington and Chimaev to that card. So there's not a lot of like moving parts in the next year. I think January, like that's the only intriguing main event. And Aljamain Sterling and Sugar Sean O'Malley in Brazil makes absolute zero sense. So I don't think we'll see that. So I'm intrigued. That gives us a question, gives us something to talk about and debate about for the next 60 days, right? Who will be that bantamweight challenger to Aljo's championship? All right, let's get into the fun part, the controversy part. UFC 280's probably featured fight, one fight of the night. Got the bonus. Peter Yan versus Sugar Sean. Yes, Chael, I said it for you. I watched the fight twice now. I thought Peter Yan won the fight. That's just my 2 cents. But let me just say this. To me, it wasn't a robbery. Like I didn't see it as a robbery. I thought Peter Yan won. But I will say this. Sugar Sean won the 3rd round. And like I'm a damage guy. And I say this all the time. And I know the takedowns and the control. And Peter did so much. And just watching the fight, you would think Peter Yan won that fight. But I'm a damage. And out of the, just say there was 10 huge damageable hits, Sean O'Malley probably had 6 or 7 of them. Like I think Sean O'Malley had the nicer moments, the bigger moments, especially probably the biggest moment in that fight with that knee. So Sugar Sean O'Malley won via split decision. And I think if I could say this, and I know there's going to be 2 people that comment on it or listen to it or slide into the DMs, right? We are all wrong. Everyone I talked to, one, I bet on Sugar Sean O'Malley before the fight. I just thought the odds and the value was in his way. I was leaning, like I said, if I had to pick one side or the other, I would pick Peter, and I thought Peter still won the fight. But the one thing everyone was saying was kind of the Conor McGregor treatment is that Sean O'Malley needs to catch Peter quick and early in the first. Peter's a slow starter. Sean will probably melt or can't take the pressure of Peter for 15 straight minutes. And it was the opposite. Peter definitely won the second round. I thought that he won the first as well. He looked really good. But the third round, the last 5 minutes belonged to Sugar Sean O'Malley. Sugar Sean O'Malley definitely earned his stripes, earned that he belonged to the top 5, earned the next big fight, earned the next big payday. Sugar Sean O'Malley proved, I think, to the mixed martial arts community that he is that guy, got that dog, that grit, that mentality that we didn't think he maybe had, especially with the Cheeto Vera loss and the kick and all that stuff. So props up to Sugar Sean O'Malley. Really showed up, especially in that third round. One of the best rounds of his career, and won a split decision against Peter Yan. So that's real quick, guys. That was just a 12-minute fast UFC 280 reaction. So much more. Benny Darush got the job done. Fierre got the job done. How about remember the name Bilal Muhammad got the job done? And I went on the offense. Was told maybe I was wrong maybe once or twice on this, but how crazy is this? In the spring of 2023, April in Las Vegas, Nevada, UFC 286, I believe it would be. How about the main event? Conor McGregor's return fight in the welterweight division. Conor McGregor against Bilal Muhammad. Throwing it out there right now. We're going to timestamp this. It's October 24th. I know you guys think I'm crazy. We'll see. Crazier things have happened in the UFC, guys. All right, Dave Van Auken, guys. You see at the bottom, sign up to the MMA Shark today. Go to the MMAShark.com. Use that promo code Bananas50. Huge fight this weekend. Calvin Kattar, Arnold Allen steals the show. UFC Vegas 63. Phil Haas is on the show. Chase Hoop is on the show. The legend himself, Andre Arlovsky, is on the show. Really nice, good card. The co-main event, Means versus Max. A lot of good stuff. But the main event, barn burner, Calvin Kattar and Arnold Allen. Make sure you subscribe to the MMA Shark. Get your picks, win money, and keep on riding with us here at Fight Bananas. I'm Dave Van Auken. We'll talk to you soon. We'll talk to you guys multiple times this week. And we are out.